Okay, this is the braking system or the holding system that's going to keep this unit from rotating. So this is a quad brake system. These are the pieces that the brake system is going to grab onto and hold in place. There's one on each side, and they're bolted to that plastic piece inside with those brass screws that were in there, those inserts. Now normally those are, use a little heating iron to melt them in, but I just drilled a hole and epoxied them in there. But it's bolted all around it. That's gonna hold it in place. Now these are about a 1/16 thick, and these are fiberglass. I think it's some kind of garlock material. The black pieces inside, they're just spacers. And they're going to fit, this unit fits over onto here. I have one of these off so I could show you what's inside. So let me move this unit and we'll talk about this. So this there's 4 of these in here. Like I said, this fits over that unit. And there's the gap in here. See that piston moving in there? So that ring is going to ride in here. It's going to hit against this piece. And then hit against this piece. This being like this. In there. So I got 4 of those. I probably don't need 4, but I put 4 in there. So when this piece is going to move in there, it's got these air fitting holes here for these. And that's in the block, so I don't need an O-ring for that. I need an O-ring for the piston here. But the air is going to push in there, and it's going to clamp this piece against that piece. Now this piece will float. See, there's brass rods in here, so that the whole unit floats. You know, if that ring is a little bit away from there or a little bit close, this will find its own center. Each one's independent of the other one. That's the same with all 4 of them. That's just some brass rods, and I got some tubing and I epoxied it through those holes. Now originally I thought about putting those rubber pieces in here. But the more I thought about it, the more I kind of shine away from that idea. So what I decided to do was, since, this is going to ride, this piece here is going to ride on that fiberglass, and this is going to slip. There's no doubt about it. So I got this little piece of sandpaper, this 600 grit. It's a disc, and it's sticky back, like like you put on the diameter of a belt grinder. You have the flat belt on one side, then on the other side you have a round disc, and I think that's what these are for. So I just cut out the little pieces. That's these pieces here, and it's got a little curvature on it. So I'm gonna peel back that back and then just stick it on there. I'm gonna put one there and one on the piston. So there'll be a piece of sandpaper on one side and the other side, so when it clamps together, it'll clamp down on that fiberglass ring, and that should hold it in place. So originally, I had the right idea before. This is the first one. I made two of these. And this piece matched the radius of that other piece. But then I had the issue of this wanting to rotate. So I made this little channel down here, and I had a little piece made with a little like pin sticking out, so when this moved back and forth, it wouldn't rotate. But what I found out was that this piece here would have hit those bolts that were holding it in place. So that didn't work. So then I had to come up with a way of keeping this from rotating. So I thought, well, this is the piece that mounts on that aluminum piece. If I just make this piece the same as the top of here, instead of putting this radius on there, I could use the bottom of that piece to keep this from rotating. So that's what I did. That's what this is. This is flat here. So when this is in there, and that's sitting up against that piece there, see, just enough room for a little bit of freedom there, but not enough room for it to rotate. Because that's going to sit in there like that, and that gets bolted these 4 places. Then the air comes in the back and pushes that forward. Now I don't have anything to return it, but just letting the air pressure off should stop it from pushing, and it should work. I don't think I need any kind of spring return on that. But that's that's what I come up with. Of course, this one's not fastened, so I could show it to you. But that's the idea. So that's what it's going to look like from the outside, except there's going to be 4 bolts instead of just 2. Now the only thing I got to do is that these rods that are in here, I put a aluminum tube in here, and these are brass rods. So I have to have a way of keeping those from moving. So I thought, well, I could drill and tap a hole in the end and capture them on the end of these pieces, because this tube in here is the same as this tube inside of there. Got that at Ace Hardware. Then I was thinking about it, and I think, well, what I'll do is I'll just grind a slot inside of here. Well, I'll take the brass rod out. I'll grind a slot inside of there. Then I'll take this brass rod and I'll just drill and tap it for a screw in the middle. Then that slot will be wide enough for the screw, so I'll stick this in there and just screw that screw into the rod, and that'll capture it from moving back and forth, but it'll still allow it to have a little freedom. They'll still be able to move because this one side and this other side, they gotta have a little bit of freedom in there, and I can't have these rods fixed. They have to float a little bit. I mean, it's not much, just a little bit. They got to float because we're not trying to make a precision piece here. We just want something that works. But I have to put some O-rings on here. Well, not on that one, but on this one. And got to try it out. But that's about what it looks like. That's a 1 inch. I went from 3/4 to 1 inch. And I'm pretty sure that'll work out great. So we'll have to give it a try. All right, that's the update on the holding brake system to keep the unit from rotating. All right, bye.